Oh my, what has Donald Trump's election victory done? Mayor Adams said, yo, we got to look at this food stamp program for the migrants, and we may have to cut it off. And this is the actual footage. This is from the news talking about Mayor Adams and this migrant food program. Let's get to the video. Fair use, fair use.
Of New York. Lots of news involving Mayor Adams today, and today he's joining us live on Eyewitness News.
Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We want to start.
Good to see you both.
Yes, great to see you too. We want to start with your decision late this afternoon to end that food voucher program for immigrants. What led to this decision, and why now?
Well, it was an emergency contract for a sunset in 1 year. That was what it was in place for 1 year. Now we have moved away from emergency response because we have had a constant decrease in our population. And now we're going to the procurement process that we do now for food. But we've been successful with that program. We brought down food waste. We were able to get several thousand individuals to have culturally sensitive food at the same time, and it was successful for the time being. And now we move into the general putting out the RFPs that are needed. It was an emergency, and now we're moving in another direction.
So basically, you're telling me that these migrants were given food stamps and food cards and money because it was an emergency situation. But what about the people that are actually living in New York City, the actual tax-paying citizens who probably need the same program? You're using New York City taxpayers' money to give migrants food and give them shelter and give them hotel rooms and all these things. But 2 days after the election of Donald J. Trump, you end this program. Kind of risque, but let me go ahead and let's continue the program.
Funding, of course, the big issue surrounding the city, and has been the big issue surrounding your tenure to some degree. Let's talk about some other crucial issues, though. You talked yesterday to President-elect Trump. What did you talk about? And did it involve any funding for New York City, or perhaps lack of funding?
Well, I've been very consistent about private conversations. I don't go into them, but I'm clear. I'm here to fight on behalf of this city. You can't hold your breath and wait 4 years before you start bringing back those resources to the city. We have a new president, and I'm going to collaborate with his administration to deal with some pressing issues that face in our city, particularly around funding. When you look at the billions of dollars we spent with the migrants and asylum seekers, we got very little help from the federal government. And I think it's imperative that we engage on the right foot to say New York needs infrastructure, affordability, and other big ticket items.
Yeah, you know why you didn't get a lot of funding from the federal government? Because they knew off the break that this was wrong. They know off the break this is wrong. You think Donald J. Trump is going to give you money for those migrants? You think he's going to give you money for those migrants? He'll probably give you money for, help the infrastructure in New York City, but that migrant money is not going to happen. So, and matter of fact, I would not be surprised if a lot of those migrants go back to the countries of their origin, because the problem in New York City, just like all these other asylum cities, is you took the money that was allocated for tax-paying citizens and gave it to migrants, and that's why people are upset. That's one of the reasons why Donald Trump was elected president. But let's continue.
Well, Mayor, speaking of the new president, do you think the Trump presidency will have an impact on your federal case? Are you hoping the charges will be dropped? We do know that he said that you were being unfairly targeted because of your criticism of the Biden administration's immigration policy. What are your thoughts on that? And have you spoken to Trump about this?
No, I did not. And I've been extremely clear that I've done nothing wrong, and I have competent attorneys that are going to handle that case. My job is to do what I was elected to do, and that's fight on behalf of New Yorkers. And anyone who conflate the two just really don't know who I've been for the last 30 plus years as a public servant, from police officer to an elected official. I'm going to fight and defend this city. This city deserves that, and that is what I'm going to continue to do.
Okay. And just quickly, Mayor, are you hoping that he drops the charges?
My attorney, anything that's dealing with my case, I have an excellent attorney that can handle those questions. I have to answer the questions of how to move the city forward, and I'm not going to allow anything to get in the way of that.
Yeah, Mayor Adams, man, politician, man. Those politicians know how to dodge questions, and I think the reason why he's dodging these questions is because of two things. Number one, he wants to see if Trump going to do something for him. You know what I'm saying? You grease my palm, I grease your palm. And number two, if he says something that may mess up the case, he'll be in big trouble. So he said, you know what? I'm gonna let the attorneys handle that situation. I'm fighting for the people in New York. Good decision. Let's continue.
Call the lawyer later tonight and ask him the questions. I do want to talk to you a little bit more about financial assistance. You were quite critical of the lack of financial assistance. President Biden didn't help fund the flood of migrants coming into New York. It's hard to imagine Donald Trump's going to, in all honesty, Mayor, going to boost any funding to pay for that. And in fact, he may order them out of the country, as we well know. People who live here and work here and their children are going to school here in the public schools. Mr. Mayor, let's talk about that cost of all that and what your hopes are for Mr. Trump.
Well, first we need to deal with the reality. Over 220,000 migrants and asylum seekers came to the city, and we spent billions of taxpayers' dollars to take care of this issue, as well as other cities, Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles. When you look at those tax dollars not going to the residents of those cities to deal with the crucial issues we had to face coming out of COVID, I found that troubling, and I was clearly vociferous about it. But this is a sanctuary city. I think that the modification that was last made under the previous administration was the wrong modification. When it was put in place under Koch and under Bloomberg, it had a different concept. I don't believe people who come to the city and create violent crimes should not remain in the city, and we should have the right, after they serve their time, to turn them over to ICE. But we're going to continue to do the role. This is a city of immigrants, and many people are here undocumented. We want them to continue to know that their police department, their hospitals, and the educational system is going to be here to provide what we've provided for years.
Okay. So basically, you're saying these people can go to the hospital, they can get Medicare and all these different issues, even if they are illegal immigrants. I mean, shouldn't they try to become citizens? I mean, a lot of these people that are coming into this country, I'm not saying everybody is a bad person, but there's a way that you become a citizen. You go through the proper steps. Like, this is the reason why a lot of Latinos who have the right to vote voted for Trump, because they said they did it the right way. They came into this country legally, and they went through the proper vetting and procedures and became a U.S. citizen. Why are people coming over here with the millions and millions and millions getting free money? Well, while me and my family had to go through the struggle of trying to become an American citizen, finally getting the right to vote, finally doing it the right way, but these people can come over and do it the wrong way. Let's continue.
Okay, that's the nature of a sanctuary city. Agree with that.
And Mr. Mayor, you announced a lawsuit against a vaping company. How big of a problem is this?
Well, they're going to talk about vaping companies and all that stuff, but I don't really want to talk about that. But the main thing I really want to talk about was Mayor Adams finally saying, you know what, enough is enough with this emergency program, the voucher program for these migrants, and I am 100% with it. I mean, I think the reason why he did it was because he's trying to get in the good graces of Donald Trump. I know that's the reason, because Donald Trump has been really big on immigration and wanting to get rid of these people and get these people back to the country of origin. And there are videos out there now, people just, still trying to come to the country. But at the end of the day, the border's going to be closed, and Donald Trump is not going to have it. And Mayor Adams knows that, okay, I didn't get the help with Biden. Maybe I can get the help with Trump. And also, he's trying to get in the good graces of Donald Trump. That's honestly, that's what it is. He's trying to get in the good graces of Trump. Let me end this program so I can get the good graces of Trump. I mean, I know I seen the play the whole time, but hey, let me know what you think about this whole conversation. Mayor Adams finally ending the program, the food program, the voucher program for the migrants coming over in the United States. Let me know what you think in the comments. On my way to 1,000 subscribers. Also, make sure you hit that like button. Also, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Got another video pinned to the side for your viewing pleasure. Until next time, folks, I'm out.